I'm Faisal. I'm working as an operations lead at TecBrix Cloud from last 7 years, and I am having a ton of experience in terms of infrastructure development, deployments, migrations, enterprise level migrations, and nowadays we are we are helping companies to provide to build their solutions on the on AI. So this is like what I am at the moment, and as per the topic today, so today I will try to present Bedrock, SageMaker, and some other services, and we'll try to guide you guys, in terms of what are the best practices in future if you are going to explore AWS cloud in terms of AI. So what is AI? Many people they are new in terms of AI and still trying to explore, whether it is good for their business, whether when we can use it, and how much we can use it, and how is it like a safe enough to share their company's data to the models, or is it like cost effective solution for their business. So all those questions are coming in terms of AI, and to every company stakeholders. So now what I would say, so let's suppose if you just see how much volume of money at the moment circulating all over the world, where every company, every country, and all the big enterprise companies, like you just name it Google, you just name it Meta, you just name it AWS, Microsoft, and Huawei, in terms of everyone is talking about the AI. So you can say this is the era of AI. So we should help our community to build such kind of a solutions where we are at the moment doing that one, where we need to train them, how they can optimize their solutions in terms of AI. So so this is like the whole agenda for this meeting, this webinar. Yeah. So there are key items in this webinar we will discuss. One is, first it will be definitely Gen AI, because everyone know this one, like maybe it's a chat GPT, maybe it's a DALI, maybe it's a just chat bot where we can do the stuff. And then we will touch the Amazon Bedrock. We will not touch, we will go deep dive into Amazon Bedrock, what it will provide, and what are the service, what kind of things we can do in terms of Bedrock, in terms of data security, data privacy, in terms of tenancy, in terms of costing, in terms of infrastructure deployment, which is a very critical part in terms of we are talking about the Bedrock, and how we can provide the best access to the Bedrock, what will be the best architecture diagram in general. But definitely, like in future, if someone is having some queries, we will help them in terms of their domain level architecture diagram. We will try to build that one as well, but that will be post the webinars. Yeah. So then we will discuss security in models, and what are the challenges and the possible opportunities which we can make together. And also then post that one, we will discuss about the SageMaker, which is machine learning tool which we are using at the moment, and heavily using industry is using that one. And where I will try to explain where you can do the best things in terms of SageMaker, and what are the best scenarios for the Bedrock as well. So everyone is talking about nowadays is AI, right? So what is AI by the, in case if you just think of, right? So we are giving our machines, we are training our machines with the help of the data, how they can improvise and provide the best use cases for us, and how they can provide such kind of solutioning where it will help us to support our day-to-day job. We can optimize the things which are very, very, very basic level, And even nowadays, solutioning are coming where, advanced level of stuff we can do very easily with the power of the AI. So with the help of the Gen AI, everyone is thinking maybe it's a chatbot, maybe it's just like, as we can't do much in terms of AI in terms of Gen AI, right? No, it's not like that, right? So with the help of Gen AI, right? So what we can do, we can pretend on vast amount of unstructured data, right? So what it means by, let's suppose if you are building, we will went through in the next couple of slides, when we will touch about the Bedrock. But initially it will help us, in case if we have a unstructured data, right? Still how we can best optimize, our models in terms of, to our day-to-day jobs. So then next will be, contain large amount of parameters, then can be applied in wide range of, content context. And then definitely, we have foundation models using your own data for domains. So we will touch all of those points in next, right? So 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 the again, this is same question, Gen AI, and what will be, the possible ways we can help it out. So again, we are providing efficiency to our machines. Machines can be a small chips. With the help of small chips, which is coming from the, you hear the company Nvidia. Now Huawei is also building their own chips. Now many other companies, they're spending hell of money, right, to build their own chips, right? And to provide such kind of computational power behind very very complex foundational models, which we can't train definitely, right? But at the end of the day, those will help us, in terms of how we can improvise our day-to-day jobs in a better way. So how foundational models, differ from other, ML models? This is like next questions. Maybe it will be come up, So, well, traditional models, we need the data. That data should be labeled properly. It should be structured properly. The schema of the data, that should be organized in a way where we can generate text and do some other stuff. Let's suppose if we are if you're talking about the chatbot, if you're talking about the, to generate new content based on our data. And but on the other side, with the foundational model, what we can do, first we will have, we can pre-train our model with the help of the untrained data, right? And that will be adopted by our foundational models, and then do the same kind of stuff, like let's suppose text generation, summarization, information sectoring, QA, and chatbot. So please do not think of, these are the only list of tasks which our foundational models or the new coming models are coming, right? So in case if you are background with the AWS cloud, so uh, that, the with the cloud, this something is providing by the AWS. Those are the foundational models coming from the AWS. But there is a huge community coming from the marketplace, coming from the, also registering and, making collaboration with the AWS cloud, where, all those companies are also populating and building their foundational models in terms of the APIs calls with the AWS cloud. So we'll come up next. Next is the, unlocking the potential of Gen AI. Again, as I said, it will help us to it will help, uh, to improvise our day-to-day jobs in our companies, in our new ideas. Same like chatbot, same like, invoicing system, same like a central bank or maybe banks compliance solutioning. So you can think of, small job which is just like a chatbot of a company, specific to us a company. And we can also make and improvise on a wider level, where we can say, yeah, we will build such kind of a solutioning, with the help of the foundational model, definitely, right? But based on our own knowledge base data, provisioned by the, provided by the so many, articles and, our own research and parameters. And based on that, we can uptrain our models and provide, best solutioning to the society. Yeah, right. So we can do so much stuff with the help of the Gen AI. And also again, at the end of, there is a AI. So with the AI, what are the possible, like how the journey will hold, like from start till end, how the journey will be, will we can accomplish. So imagine, like first will be the data layer. uh, So today, if any company is going to take up any decision, they want to go with the AI, right? So what kind of a spending or what kind of protocol they have to build on? Because those protocol help them to improvise their day-to-day jobs towards the real solutioning which they are discussing at the moment. So first will be data. So data, in case if they have the right amount of data means if you have very small data, then your foundational model will not give you the exact result. So first you need a strong data, and that strong data should be ready enough, to be a part of the next phases. And then we will have the framework, machine learning framework, and algorithm layer, right, where your engineers, your data scientists, they will sit together, they will discuss the solutioning. Because as I said, think about the foundational model which is coming in the number 3 in the or the next point, which is the model layer. Again, all those models, every model they having different functionality. Someone is doing better research, someone is having limitation with the token, someone is having the more memory. Again, more you spend, more you will have it. We will discuss in next couple of slides. But at this point we will have a framework. With the framework, we will that framework, our data team, our sciences team, our business team, they will sit together, they will discuss this is our achievement, what we are going to achieve, and for that one, what kind of model we will use, and and what will be the cost of those models. Because at the end of the day, none of the company in this world, they are going with the unlimited money, right? So they have a specific budget allocated for some specific job, and they have to build within that timeline, within that KPIs, within that money allocated or budget allocated to accomplish that job. So then the third will be model layer, where again, first where they will go and test a couple of models and train them, right? And with that training, they will see whether they will get that much output or not. Because every models, they will have a separate parameter. As I said, they will have an input token, they will have an output token, they will have the like how I'm going to provide the data, what kind of restrictions I don't want to see. Let's suppose if I am in any of the company, I don't want to see a list of things which are not related to my company. I don't want to those one. So those are the optimization functions which I will again make it along with my foundational data foundation, right? Then we will have application layer. So now we have data, we have framework ready, we have models ready, but where all those models will be implemented? Definitely that will be implemented in any of the application. Maybe that application with the, let's suppose, a CRM of a company, or maybe that foundation, that application layer can be like a big SaaS application. They want to check, let's suppose, what are the companies, I'm just talking about the very huge enterprise company, right, where they have a huge amount of transactions coming and live going, and they have so many, like hundreds and thousands of invoices at the same time. So they want to check some specific information. So those informations, where it will be integrated to their system. So at that level we will have application layer as well, right? So again, found we have a models, right? We have an application layer, and on top of it we have data and the discussion about what we are going to achieve and how we are going to achieve, and whether that whole solutioning will come up in terms of our allocated budget or not, right? So all of those answers are coming with this Amazon Bedrock, right? Because why it's this service is so much popular and so much famous nowadays, because it's having a tons of key features. I will come up very very quickly on this one. So Bedrock is a service, right? So it's a managed service from the AWS cloud. It means a lot. Managed service means, like, let's suppose you do not have to spin up any kind of infrastructure. You do not have to manage the infrastructure. You do not have to monitor the infrastructure. You do not have to upskill the infrastructure or downscale the infrastructure. You do not have to, think like this is a one box, and you do not have to think like this box, how to integrate this box or this Bedrock to other services, like let's suppose CloudWatch, or maybe S3, or maybe SQS, or maybe this other service like let's suppose KMS, because all of those things are well connected with the Bedrock. So it's a fully managed service where what we can achieve, we can accelerate our development of Gen AI application. Again, if I come back in my last discussion at the point, the fourth layer is the application layer. We are all achieving our results behind the scene, in front of the scene, on the application layer. Rest of the layers, let's suppose data layer, uh, framework layer, or the or the algorithm layer. All those layers are coming, and then at the end of the day, we are reaching on the application layer, where the actual output we will see, and which will help us to our company. This is our the main goal, right? So through the APIs, and those APIs are very generic, right? Then the second is the choose FM this foundational models from AI 21 Labs. So it means that we do not have only foundational model available from the AWS side. As I said, AWS is a huge firm, huge company, very, very big company, right? And they are the pioneer of the cloud computing. They are the one who created and or who invented this thing, cloud computing. So what they are doing, they are also uh, based on the other good solutioning, because there are huge companies, there are many other companies, they are also building their solutioning, their foundational models. So AWS, they are collaborating with them, and they are having registering them on the marketplace of the AWS. So so AWS marketplace is a place where all the third-party companies, they are registering their solutioning, so that they can also help AWS customer to utilize those ones with a very one or two clicks, right? So this is like A1 Labs or Anthropic or maybe Stability AI or maybe and Amazon to find the right FM, like foundational model for your use case. We will come up with list of other stuff in next slide. Along with these 2 points, then we will have a privately customized FM using your own organization data. As I said, you will have the foundational models. Plus, this one is coming from the one company. Let's suppose Amazon, maybe Stability AI, maybe using from any open source as well. You can use it. Along with that, what you can do, you can also customize with your own data. Same like I said, I'm going to search what are the companies who always delayed my our invoices, and I am having in last 10 years. So based on that, I am just if I put like this kind of a prompt um to my to my solution. So what he will do, he will look into, with the help of the foundational model which I will use, plus he will look into the all the data which maybe I kept in the Amazon S3. Maybe I will have a separate records in the I would say AWS RDS, like PostgreSQL. Maybe I'm using the MongoDB. So all these integrations with these services also possible with the Amazon Bedrock. Then we will come up with the enhanced data protection using comprehensive AWS security capabilities. Yes, very, very, very important topic, because cloud always people are worried like, is it secured? Will anyone take my data? Will someone stolen my data and use some in some other foundational model and maybe sell it some other companies? AWS, as part of their compliance, they are not giving any data to any of the foundational model to use in any of the other form. It's very much clear, and they are meeting the world standards compliance. You just name it, HIPAA is there, right? Financial sector compliance are there, right? So we will have a huge number of lists, almost like 38 to 51 international standard compliance regulatories. AWS is meeting and also giving the audit to all of those compliances, and then they get the badges to those compliances. This is like little bit on the compliance side. Along with that, we can also, with my data, let's suppose if I'm putting something in the AWS cloud, I can also use my own keys or the AWS KMS keys, you know a very long string of keys of the data, which is used to encrypt and decrypt. I use that 256 digit of key. I use that key to encrypt and decrypt my data. So it means, let's suppose if I'm same like my example. So if I'm putting 1 million invoices and those invoices are very much critical to my business, so what I can do, I can use the AWS KMS, and what it will do, it will encrypt all the data so that none of the world can utilize that one except until unless they will stolen my private key, and that key is also I saved somewhere in my AWS account or in my local system as well. I will come up with that, once we will reach on that level where we will discuss the architecture of the Bedrock. So responsible AI provides by supported model provider Amazon Titan supported AI best practices. So please recall this name. I will use that name Amazon Titan, right, in the next slides. So here to go. So these are the some of the foundational model, right, which we are using now, which are heavily using companies, and these are the very famous one. Definitely, Amazon Titan, Amazon is having huge development and AI and research teams. So they build this Amazon Titan for us so that we can leverage the output whatever we want to do, right? And again, every model is having limitations as well. I hope so. We may talk about that limitations. Um, okay, fine. So we will discuss those limitations maybe in some other time. But yes, so every foundational model is is utilized in some specific areas. So as I said, there are a couple of key parameters. One is the input token, how much I can put in my prompt, how much token I can put, right? Then how much is the output token, what will be the how much memory I can utilize, how fast I can get the result, whether this particular foundational model is best suitable for the search, image generation, video capturing, finding a person inside the video, and other stuff, right? So we will look into those things, separately. But yeah, I just want to, take you a journey where you will be more comfortable in terms of Bedrock and other stuff, and then we will discuss in case if you have any other question. Then we have a, let's suppose, cloudy stable diffusion. So everyone is having some specific uh, purpose. So let's suppose this stable diffusion. So generation of unique, realistic, high quality images, arts, logos, and designs. But in case if I just compare with the Amazon Titan, that is, it is the foundational model, family of the models built by Amazon, okay, pertained by large data set. What it will be do to general purpose models, right? It's not like to look into the in case if someone is looking something with the specifically with the media sites, then they can look into the stable diffusion rather than the Amazon diffusion, Amazon Titan, right? So we will look into these stuff, later on. So quickly integrate FM into the application. How quickly? Like, is it like a couple of ticks, or who will manage my infrastructure? Is it like do I have to integrate, or do I have to do extra payments, or extra taking care extra teams who will take care this all those stuff? Well, I would say no, because there is a catch, definitely, right? But until unless you are not using the knowledge base of the Amazon Bedrock, where you can try out the foundational model. When you will start trying out, a very small chunk of money, a few few dollars, you can spend it. But until unless you are going to index the data, because as I said, at the end of the day, the main purpose is your data, result based on the your data, and your data uh, will be chunked, uh, put in the system of the foundational model, and in the data sources, and then based on that data, it will give the result. So it will be very quickly to integrate. It's just like go in the console, just say yes, and then boom, it will start looking into you are good to go. So quickly we can integrate and deploy FM into your application and workload running AWS using familiar controls, definitely, yeah. And integration with the depth and breadth of AWS capabilities and service like Amazon SageMaker and S3. So as I said earlier, we can utilize other AWS services like SageMaker. I will come up in the next, because this is one of the hot topic which we have to discuss. But S3, um CloudWatch, you want to definitely, whatever is it is happening inside your system, you want to put into the CloudWatch, and you want to, see what is happening with this, with all the calls, whether those data, is that much quality or not. Because at the end of the day, you have to make sure it's AI, right? So every AI foundational model doesn't mean, it will make 100% correct stuff for you. You have to closely look into, but that is based on the app business side, not on the uh, server deployment side or the application deployment side, right? So in case we can talk about the, isolated customization to drive differentiation. So well, there are a couple of, key indicators. Let's suppose with the uh, private fine tuning, where you can, maximum accuracy for specific tasks, or maybe again, where you are coming from. So is it like, you need a very, very, very specific result, you know, in that one you have to spend more, because it's AI. You have to be, more in terms of the, capacity, in terms of the data, in terms of the input, in terms of the output, in terms of the results. So the more you spend it, the more you will get it. But again, those stuff is not only for small companies, those are for the big companies. Maybe your use case is just, to make a chatbot. It's a one day job to make your customized chatbot in terms of Amazon Bedrock within a day. So you can make it done. So a data privacy and isolation, as I said earlier, and any customer, data will not be used by Amazon Titan models for other customers, and is not shared with any other foundational model. So this is like based on the compliance and regulatory compliance from the AWS. They are making sure that, and they are very, very, very strict too, right? Because every compliance they have to make the audit, and then they will get the, confirmation or certificate from the audit reports. So, and also customer data, it can be prompt, it can be responses, it can be fine-tuned models based on the data. I will come up next. And again, privacy or the, our security, as I said, we will utilize AWS KMS. It should be mentioned somewhere here. Yes, here. So in the first point, where we will have a 256 bit, a very long and strong method of, encryption, which is AES, right? Where you, and also if you don't want to use the AWS encryption, maybe some company they have this kind of, internal policies where they have their own encryption keys. They can utilize in the KMS. They can keep it in the KMS. Yeah, they can use it. Those ones. Integration with the AWS identity, definitely. As I said, you can connect with the AWS IAM. You can connect with the S3. You can connect with the RDS. PostgreSQL, you can connect with the other Lambda and any other service, most of the any of the services. And also you can also, integrate Amazon Bedrock with the other third party as well. So let's suppose I have one example. This example is purely basically only for the project managers. So a project manager, he's having a 10 different, she's part of the 10 different projects, and she wants to understand what is happening with all those projects, right? So she's having, let's suppose, I'm just giving one example. I'm not going to, to promote any product. I'm just giving a one name. Let's suppose Jira. It's a third party product. So that product, one project manager is having 10 different dashboards, and it's very, very, very difficult to look into and get the details after going to look into the each and every batch, task, review, and tagging what is happening. So it's very tough job for any specific individual person. So what they can do, they can integrate those ones, right, as a as a source, right, of the data. I earlier talked about the S3, but here I'm talking about the third party as well. So Amazon Bedrock help that project manager to just find out, while using the Bedrock, what is happening in all the 10 projects. She can check who is the person who is not uh, who is tagged in in three times in today, or maybe two times, and still that person or that developer at the DevOps guy or any other IT guy, still there is no update from his side. So she don't have to do any job. She just put a prompt, hello Mr. Hello foundational model, give me the understanding who is that person who is not providing the updates in last 2 days. Or she can say what are the list of tasks which are not been done and already past their due dates. So she can very quickly look into all those things within seconds, because this is the power of AI. This AI is not only for the enterprise companies who wants to do the job. AI is for everyone, but you have to make sure you should know a couple of key things. Number one, the pricing models of each and every foundational model. Number two, whenever you put the knowledge base, which is your data or the third party, again third party is your data, and that data can be connected with the Google Drive as well. Maybe you have 100 GB of Google Drive data, you connect with as a source, and now you want to ask a prompt, hello dear this foundational model, I want to know, dear AI, I want to know what happened in those kind of photos. If you write anything like, let's suppose an Amazon Rekognition, if you are utilizing that edge foundational model as well, because that service as well, because that help you to understand a specific photo. If you provide a proper label, she will try that will bring the result for you. So so AI is for everyone. This is like my understanding, and that is what we are proposing, and we are also working our company internal projects or internal products as well, based on the understanding of the market, right? So what market is required, what kind of tooling they are looking into, and all that, right? And next is the AWS. Use AWS CloudTrail to monitor all API calls. That is fine. Then fine tune models using KMS. That is we already discussed. So again, the data. So you are always control of your data. As I said, again, it's your data. It's with you. AWS is meeting the compliance, and you have to make sure more data, better data in a form of uh, less complexity, right? And you will have to your foundational model have to do a less job, right? Then we will come up the, again, we already discussed this part, then configuring security controls. In this one, we have like, let's suppose data privacy. Last part is the access management. Definitely we can do IAM, and we can connect the IAM with this one. Yeah. We can also limit with the single tenancy to service to the multi-tenancy, where you can limit the result to the deployment should be available to a single customer or maybe multiple customers. So single tenant endpoint and multi-tenant endpoint. These are the another two good options for you to look into. If you want to to provide anything to the all world, then you can use the multi-tenant. Otherwise, you can use single tenant. And then some other detail like no inference request input or output text is used to train any models. So AWS keep telling people all over the world, we are not sharing your data. Please be mindful that we are meeting the world compliances, and we are not taking your data. Then model deployments are inside an AWS account owned and operated by the Bedrock service team. Okay. Then next is the connectivity. So, all right. So, so even you can look into Bedrock. Is just some small one example of the VPC connectivity. I'm not sure how much you are well familiar of this VPC part, but what we are doing, what I'm trying to explain here, you will have Amazon Bedrock still working in the AWS cloud. But as an enterprise, if you are using anything like, let's suppose, AWS Direct Connect, still you are able to access Amazon Bedrock APIs configured and managed inside the Amazon Bedrock with the client which is operating inside your data center. So let's suppose in any of the bank they're having the Amazon Direct Connect. they can still utilize API endpoints and private link VPC endpoints. So they can use these things. We will definitely, we are consultancy, we will help you out in case if you have any trouble, but they can still utilize Amazon Bedrock locally inside their application. So this is the whole point which I want to mention here. Complete architecture overview of this of the Bedrock. So here you have the application developer. He's sitting here using some of the SDKs, some of the console is there, some of the APIs are there. Those APIs again for what? Amazon Bedrock. Via the API endpoints. So what they are doing at the end of the day, this is your main data based model S3 bucket, right? So you are keeping all of your data here, and you are improvising ML with the help of the SageMaker to further train your data, and you can fine tune that data, okay, with the help of again where you what kind of tenancy you want to use, a single tenant or multiple multi-tenant. So you can use based on that one. But the main point is your data is keeping here, your developer is keeping sitting here somewhere, right? And then you have a customer account like and at the end of the day, what you're doing, you are keeping your data here. With the help of the Amazon SageMaker, you are further training your data, improving your foundational model with the help of this data, and keeping that data inside your customer account, and then use that data to train orchestration, uh, runtime inference, prompt history score, and all that. So this is a little bit, little bit more details, but at the end of the day, you can think of your data and Amazon. With the help of that data, you are improving or fine tuning your foundational model with the help of the SageMaker. I will come up very quickly on the because we are having, yeah, I will come out now quickly to the Amazon SageMaker. IAM, again I said you can connect the IAM with that one. Also you can have this kind of policy. It's a service control policy in the AWS cloud, which will help you, in case if you don't want, let's suppose, any kind of model or anything, any API call from that model. So you can use this kind of small policy put there, and it will help you to deny all those impacts of that of those API calls. So security in the model, challenge and opportunities. Please be mindful that in case if any person, or in case if any use case is illegitimate or having some malicious purpose, or some kind of non-society non uh, social purpose, or something like which is not uh, good for our society, this is the challenge, and this AI will not help you out, right? So so you have to be make sure the solution which you are going to make, because as a human being you can have n number of thinking. Maybe you want, like, maybe any person is having a use case where he want to steal some of the data, some of the stuff, some of the things which are not profitable in our society. So the main opportunity is, with the help of the foundational model, with the help of the data, with the help of the SageMaker, you can make a system for your company, for your day-to-day job, for your idea to, as a startup, to make something, which will be helpful for your needs, or for your requirements, or for your achievements. Then we will have this Amazon Titan, Llama, Cloud D, and Stable Diffusion. So in my earlier, I guess this is the last, yeah, this is the last slide for the SageMaker. So as I said, these are the four key companies. One is Amazon is there, Llama is there, Cloudy is there, Stability.ai is there. So these are the four key companies who are building and spending too much in terms of the AI. So you can see, what these companies provide. Here you will have the 8K token, 8,000 token. Here you have a 200K token. Here you have a 67 token per prompt. Here you can generate the image, but here it's a high performance text based model. So in case if you are thinking something like image, you may think about Stability AI. If in case if you're thinking about something like chatbot, you may look into the Titan. In case if you are looking something like large scale task, dialogue, something, then you may look into the Llama. But the pricing also vary because every project is a budget. You can't go unlimited. So you can think of all these budgets and plan accordingly. Then quickly guys, I will go to the SageMaker. It is a very very important topic because we are this webinar is just for 1 hour, so I will try to cover as much information as I can. So with the help of the SageMaker, what we can achieve, right? So it's a there's something a term I will come up in the next slide, right? In next. But at the moment you can think of, you have a foundational model, you have a data, it's all been set up, but now you want to train your model in a way it will give you the end results. So in that way it will help to to further distribute your training. Debug experimental tool is there. So a full kit, like developer kit is there, where you can do the job. They have the IDs as well, where you can connect very quickly with the SageMaker and with the foundational model and start doing the coding or the programmatic stuff. Governance is very easy. So there a term like MLOps, machine learning ops. So this you can do all these pipelining, repositories, everything. Same like in case if you are coming with a DevOps background. So all these features it will provide here in the SageMaker, not in the not in the Bedrock, because Bedrock is a full-fledged tool to deploy your application, to deploy your solution, and and also to use your own data to understand and to complete the solution. But here with the SageMaker, you are further training your machine learning models. With the help of machine learning, you are further training your foundational model to do all those jobs, right, in a much better way, right? So so this is like jumpstart. Jumpstart is something, how quickly we can move our stuff. So we have again stability. Alexa is there. Huggy Face is there. Then we have Cohere. These are a couple of these machine learning companies. They are doing a fantastic job in the market. You need to look into this stuff. From the looking into this side. Then we will think about, like jumpstart to build with the foundational model. So again, what you have to do, you have to choose foundational model offered by the model provider. So how you can choose? Initially, they will not allow you. You have to send a request via the AWS console, right? Then once they will approve, and that time, you can think of, your billing will be started. So be careful and be mindful. Nothing is free in the cloud, so you have to be very 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 particular, right, in terms of using which model. Look into their pricing page. There's something like a docs.amazon.com, or maybe you can just google it, Amazon Bedrock pricing, Amazon SageMaker pricing. So it will tell you, what are the pricing. But on the pricing page, you can also look into these stuff, how much it will be in terms of pricing. Then try out model and deploy. Again, I said, you can try out a model, and then after that fine tune again with the help of the ML, with the help of the SageMaker. Start your journey AI. So I would say, I guess you are having some sufficient information, how quickly you can build your chatbot, how quickly and what you can do in terms of an individual, or on a bigger level in terms of a company. So again, let me just think of another example. If I am like, I'm talking about the, another example where a central bank of any company, of any any country. Let's suppose I'm in UAE, so I will talk about Central Bank of UAE. So let's suppose they have a requirement to scan all those people whose transactions, right, uh, got struck in last 2 years. Or what are the people we just want a list in 1 second, or 2 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. Or we need the list of people who those credit card score is below than 200 or maybe 400. So they, with the help of the data, they can utilize very quickly all those findings. But not, I'm not limiting, these are again, these are the data heavy stuff. Right, foundational model is very keen, and also uh, to need to look into. But what I would say, you can start looking into today in with any kind of requirement, maybe for the testing purpose, and then start looking into what you want to achieve. And and let's, in case if you need any kind of a POC, please do reach out to our sales guys, or any or contact us page on our company website. That's maximum. Then thank you all, to giving me a space, to where I can try to give some understanding in terms of AI, in terms of Bedrock, in terms of SageMaker. And please understand, there's one more thing, which is uh, in case if you open up your AWS account, right? If you don't have that one, right, do check it out, because without trying testing, you will not familiarize with the world of AI. And in the very, very, very start of this session, as I said, uh, every country, every company, every big business owners is only talking about the AI. So this is the era of AI. If you will not follow as a technical person, as a business person, as a managerial position, or the director of a company, you will lose a tons of the era. And then things will be much matured, and then you have to be little bit behind. You have to start. So that's all from my side. So please let me know in case if you have any questions, so I'm happy to answer.